What's up, Starcraft fans? Last time we did Karax, this time we will do Abathur. I'll go with Tunneling Horror because that will improve his swarmhosts, which are immobilized and therefore static when they are able to attack, so they count. My masteries will be, well, I actually used full toxicness damage. I used double biomass chance because I will not be going for brutalisks, and finally, I went for some portion of toxicness damage, or rather toxicness charges and structure morph rate because I still want a bit faster building. So, once again, we're going on top of the past. Thank you to Notorious Thief who is supporting me in the immobilization with tier, and Darth, Lucinous Impudence, Shadow Archon who are supporting me in the Pulse Cannon tier. And thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. We are once again on the Maguro map because I want all the hybrid and attack waves to be the same across everyone. So let's actually begin. Oh, yeah, there we go. So I send my Overlord out here because Toxic Nest also count as kills, so I want to get as far of a vision field as possible to put down my Toxic Nests along the path. And instead of the usual rushing to a Brutalisk, I'm actually going for more of an economy-based opening this time. You can see I'm starting up a drone. I'm waiting for enough money to start the... Actually, it's an Overlord. I've already gotten 2 drones. Once the Overlord completes, I start a few more drones. Because I want to get that money rolling in. And it's gonna be a ground-based Zerg, as you've seen in the previous games. I will go first for a Toxic Nest-based defense in the early going, because that is, quite frankly, enough for everything in the early game. Later on, I will add more Swarm Hosts and maybe even some Spine and Spore Crawlers, because they do count. So, the way Abathur expands is you put a Toxic Nest between your rock and your mineral line. On Temple of the Past in particular, this rock is terribly placed. If you put the Toxic Nest right up to this rock, you will need to destroy that Toxic Nest because this rock is actually a bit off-center to where you want it. So once these 2 Spine Crawlers complete, you want to control click them, select them both, hold the control, click one of these so that you select both of them, and then right click the rocks so that they will target said rocks. And once the rocks go down, you just start your hatchery where it needs to be. And I think this Spine Crawler is also blocking the placement of my hatchery. The good news for Abathur is that he can simply lift his Spine Crawler and move it away. You can see now I have a few of these Toxic Nests laid in place. And remember, you want to switch off the detonate, or the autocast of the detonate of these Toxic Nests. So instead of detonating on the nearest enemy, they will detonate when they are going to deal the maximum amount of damage, or when you have the most enemies on them. 315 attack wave means that the hybrid will be ground based, which means it'll have the double wave spawn at 9 minutes. You can see I'm waiting for them to just walk over and detonate those Toxic Nests manually when they have the most number of units on them. Hatchery is done. It can now start pumping out workers. Once I have the money, you can see I have completed my lair. Infestation pit on the way. Putting down some more of these Toxic Nests to defend the area while I still have 0 units. Now, I think at some point I will get some more some more Swarm Hosts, but not yet. Still wanna defend using the Toxic Nest. You can see once the enemy walks over my Toxic Nests, they won't detonate immediately. I need to click on the Toxic Nest and manually detonate it. That's normally a bad thing, as in with Zagaras bio launchers, but in this case, it will allow you to put the maximum number of enemies on them, so you're more efficient with using your actual Toxic Nests. Spine Crawlers on the way. They will destroy these rocks so that they will have access to shoot the Thrasher. Swarm Host is on the way. It's actually spawning in from the expansion base. And speaking of expansion, I need to take my gases here because swarmhosts are gas intensive for Abathur, especially when you have the tunneling horror prestige. Because by definition, it will make your your combat units cost more gas, unless they inherently have, or unless they inherently cost 0 gas to begin with. Upgrades have not yet started for swarmhosts. The good news is I don't need to deep tunnel here. I just have to walk this guy. And remember, if you want to go for this strategy, you have to switch off the autocast of the Brutalisk. So right click this icon of the Brutalisk on the lower right, on the command card in the bottom row. The center is the morph the Brutalisk. You right click that, so you switch off the autocast. So that even when I have 100 biomass of these guys, they will not automatically morph. You can see I can manually morph them, but I would choose not to. Because this is a static defense based game. So just borrowing these guys. They're effectively siege tanks. And you can see I still have the option to go for the toxic nest detonates on them. And you can see now I can go in the offense with these locusts. They're just whacking the spine crawlers and they cost free of charge. See, this guy just hatched. I switched off the manual cast or the auto cast of the Brutalisk. Just draw those waves in. Just whack them down. Pull them to the toxic nest so that the toxic can also deal damage to them. Just gather that biomass. You want to gather a lot of biomass for your swarm hosts, because the more biomass they have, the more health their locust will have. You can see this locust has 260 health because it's from a fully you can see this one has 185 because it's not from a fully biomassed swarm host. Enemies try to send their drones, but that will not be a thing. That will super be not a thing. Second another guy here. You can see the deep tunnel is researching for me, dropping down some toxic nests over here to help defeat the wave before it's threatening, or rather in a threatening position, because I only have so far 2 swarm hosts for each side. They are formidable, but I still want to have support from these toxic nests to blow up my enemies. Manual detonate to do the maximum amount of damage possible. You can see my swarm hosts didn't even have to fire. Well, for the overseer they did, but the overseer doesn't pose any damage or any threat to the temple, so I just let my, well, I just didn't count it, but it does still count as a kill. You can see locusts now fighting the hybrid spawn.
We are detecting hybrid.
Just sending those guys forward.
Amon has set loose his hybrid.
More guys streaming through. You see, just burrow them to make them static defense. They are one of the best siege units in the game. Of course, there are some that are better, but you know, that's not to say that they're not good. This unbiomassed locust has 165 health compared to the 260, so you can see the benefit of grabbing those biomass globs. Each of these locusts gain 200 health, or almost 200 health, because of the power of the biomass. You can see I have more swarmhosts here just waiting to get summoned to the front, collecting that biomass and burrowing so I can siege up the enemy. More swarmhosts on the way, collecting that delicious biomass so that their locusts will improve. Collect those. Burrow. Now start whacking at Amon's face. There's a lurker here that I can't quite see. Next wave will come through the southwest. I'm prepared with all these spine crawlers and all these swarm hosts. They are ready. And just whack Amon's face into the ground. And deep tunnel around, not deep tunnel, just burrow a bit forward. Just start whacking Amon's base with these locusts. Just make them completely not a thing.
Signature detected.
More swarmhosts on the way. Just swarmhosts. That's just a strategy. No brutalisk, no leviathan, no roaches, no ravagers, just swarmhosts. Swarms upon swarms of swarmhosts. See here again. Every time you get new swarmhosts, you have to switch off the. You can see these ones are new. I haven't switched off the brutalisk option of these yet, but you have to switch. I have to switch them off before I move them out, so that I will continue making only swarmhosts and no ultimate evolutions, no brutalisks. I don't have anything in particular against brutalisks. It's just that they are not static defense. They are not siege units, so I kind of don't want them to do any damage and steal kills away from my siege units and static defense. Locusts dealing a bit of damage. This spore, I believe, is actually doing more damage than a locust, but regardless, we're still whacking away Amon's base. You can see nothing really threatening, even remotely threatening. I just have... How many units do I have?
Avoid pressure.
I have 25 swarmhosts. That's actually pretty much enough for the whole game. Though I am still making more. I am getting the 3rd level upgrade for attacks, so that my swarmhosts deal even more damage. You can see I have a farm of toxic nests here. I have some spore crawlers ready. Deep tunnel in some swarmhosts here. Just getting ready to whack Amon's face. You can see these locusts are fully upgraded attack wise. Just send those guys there. Just delete that hybrid nemesis. See, toxic nest still doing an amazing job of just camping that spot. This kill zone right here, probably one of the most famous or infamous in all of co-op, because enemies drop here to die. That's it, they drop here to die. That hybrid nemesis is a bit of a long range guy, but
Our enemy has sent in drop pods.
not really a big deal. I'll just wait for it to crawl over to where my swarmhosts are, and then pummel it into the ground. Just shoot it down like it ain't no thing. More swarmhosts in production, by the way, because you can't have enough swarmhosts.
Enemy drop
You can't have too many swarmhosts. Just shoot them down. Just make them not a thing.
Amon has summoned a void thrasher. It will severely harm
Thrasher
the
spawned here,
towers.
but I already have a spore crawler in place, and I already have swarmhosts whacking it, and this Thrasher ends up shooting nothing in particular. It tried to shoot the spore crawler, but it missed. So it makes me wonder what it was even going for.
obliterated.
Strange. Next wave will come on both ends, the northeast, or rather the northwest and the southeast. Need some guys here. On the southeast side, you can see they've just answered the call and are ready to whack my enemies into the ground. Next wave spawning right now. So it's free units versus free waves. Guess who wins?
Hybrid detected.
Just whack that lurker down before it's able to burrow.
Life forms. Extermination advised.
Some more guys here. Yeah. 260 locusts are quite tanky. You can see this big hybrid, this fat guy, trying to just walk past my dudes. It will be able to get a shot off. I think it killed one of my locusts. Not that big of a deal. Or maybe it killed Swarmhost. I don't know. Getting +2 armor now. There's some more locusts here to whack that air hybrid. Just collecting some more biomass. Next wave will come from the northeast. It'll drop once again into this kill zone here. Which is why I'm putting down the toxic nests there to preempt that. The lurker's still wailing away at my locusts. Not gonna do anything. Oh no, I'm losing 3 units. What am I gonna do? Oh, there were 3 of them. That's crazy. Anyway, whack these guys down. Just delete those guys, make them not a thing. Attack wave here got deleted by this camp of toxic nests. That is, of course, on top of this spine forest and this wave of swarmhosts, this line of swarmhosts defending the ramp or the walkway. Next enemy set will drop here, so naturally I just detail a bunch of swarmhosts there, and pre-spawn is important. Pre-spawn the locusts so that a wave will be busy fighting the locusts and not the temple. It's actually important that you have them fight, that they have enemies fighting you rather than the temple. Especially if you want to get perfect temple health. That's actually crazy. Delete this guy. Ooh, didn't quite get it. Ooh, this swarmhost is dangerously low. The good news is I was able to drop a man. Ooh. Something almost hit the temple? That is strange. That is very strange. I'm not sure what even hit the temple. What I am sure of is that the swarmhost earlier that was almost dead now is back to full health. Because of men. Men is pretty incredible. Next wave gets smashed by my toxic nests. I have a line of defenses here and a line of defenses here, just waiting to smash the Thrasher as soon as it spawns. Just delete that, like it ain't nothing. I have spores shooting at the Thrasher. Also a few locusts shooting at the Thrasher. Also a lot of locusts shooting at the enemy. This one is a bit more enemy wave centric on my locust rather than Thrasher centric. But of course, I don't need to focus on the Thrasher now because this spore is already doing the job. Last wave, or next wave will be the most dangerous one because it has it has hybrids. The hybrids, I believe, are more threatening than the Thrashers. Then we just keep shooting, make aim on not a thing. Here comes the big wave. I try to delete the big hybrid. Got some lurkers here. They must not pass. They shall not pass! They will die. Just focus on this big hybrid. And then focus on the last of the enemy. Moving back here. Delete that big hybrid. And I'll delete the air hybrid. And I'll delete the last hybrid. The hybrid. And now it is last wave time to end the map with a perfect game. Got a lurker here. Just make that guy not a thing. Last wave. Shoot those guys. Some more fighting here. You can see the almost automatically shooting. That is beautiful. Dudes here, whacking the temple or whacking the zenith stone. That is fine. That is completely fine. These guys whacking the zenith stone, and these guys whacking the zenith stone. So after all of the attack waves, it is actually time to go for the bonus. And I have plenty of time because I've been so active in defending that they haven't even had time to properly spawn yet, and I'm already waiting for them. And then all that's left to do is end the mission in style, without any damage whatsoever to the temple, because swarmhosts are incredible. And there it is. Right? There we go. Maxed out
activation will
and
eradicate
ready
Elon's remaining forces.
to end the game. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for what else you do, please leave it in a comment. Score screen wise, you can see here that it's almost a perfect score, actually. Wait, it is a perfect score. Look at that. Look at that. Toxic Nest, Spine Crawler, Spore Crawler, and Locust. Locust spawn from the swarmhosts, which are siege units and static defense, so 100%. Temple health, of course, perfect temple health, 100%. As for survival, I lost 1 spine crawler, so that's I don't actually know. I think I had 25 locusts or something, or 25 swarm hosts. 25 add spines, or I had 4 spines survive, and all 15 spore survive. Divide by 26, or rather 25. I made 5 spines and 15 spores. Yeah, I can actually check here. Units. What does it say here? Units lost? 117. That's probably 117 locusts. No, I lost a lot more than. Was it the drones? Or was it the toxic? Was it the toxic nests that I lost? Oh well. I have 50. I have 50 swarm hosts. Okay then. 50. Yeah, it says you're 50. There we go. So that's 98.6% survival rate. And that will bring Abathur up to 8.96. Now it's up to you guys. Do you like Abathur's static defense, which consists of swarm hosts, toxic nests, and spore crawlers, more than other Starcraft 2 co-op commanders? A poll will go up tomorrow asking you guys whether you like it or not. So please vote in that, and we'll see you guys next time.